are picking up more and more followers. I really congratulate you for joining into this revolutionary new setup that we have in real estate. We are simply doing all we can to keep those people moving, transactions taking place, and most importantly, keeping all of our sales unconditional. The next property up for sale today is number 15 Raymond Street in Oatley, a property that has been marketed on behalf of our owners by both Jack Huggett and Daisy Myhill. They are with the dominant force in Oatley real estate, PRD, Harvey Oatley. Their current market share sits at a fairly impressive 45%. So on behalf of the PRD Oatley team and Jack and Daisy, namely, we really would like to welcome all of our online bidders. And of course, we would like to extend our best wishes in your bidding today. I know those registered, you've already seen the terms and conditions, you've agreed to them. And quite simply, every bid you place through the system is an unconditional offer to purchase the home. I do have the right to make a bid on behalf of my owner. It's known as a vendor's bid. I will act in course with the utmost in honesty in placing that and announcing it as either a vendor's or seller's bid. The documentation, we've made it available to all of those interested parties. Quite clearly, settlement is scheduled for 6 weeks from today's date. All the inclusions have been noted and the successful purchaser has already made their arrangements to pay the deposit immediately post-auction. It's quite simple. Those are the terms. This is an unconditional contract and we wish all of those registered parties the best of luck in your bidding. The opportunity that's on offer, it's just one of those charming Oatley cottages set in a Mews-style street, Raymond Street, just off Llewellyn Marine Drive, some of the most prestigious addresses in the premium suburb that is Oatley. Raymond Street sits in the middle has beautiful views from almost every space within this property, sitting on just shy of 600 square meters. There is a wonderful free-flowing floor plan, the main level, entrance level, which is surprisingly for Oatley at street level, does offer you multiple living spaces. You have open plan, living, dining, and entertaining spaces that flow onto alfresco entertainers, which take a full advantage of the wonderful sparkling views looking down over the bay. This is a premier position, a premier spot, and a home that's certainly going to offer wonderful flexible accommodation for the incoming owner. 4 beds of accommodation, 3 baths, a tennis court, and of course, nice, easy access down to a beautiful boat shed with good access onto the water. If you are a boatie and you're looking to get into Oatley, this is going to represent a wonderful, affordable entry into the Oatley geography and with all the benefits that Oatley brings to it. Wonderful viewers, wonderful access to cafes, eateries, restaurants, quality schools, online. I'm just checking, we're just checking our stream. Our owner has just let us know. Everything's running as far as we can see well at our end. So I'll just bear with us a moment while I just maybe give you a rundown on why Oatley is such a premier. So there have been some fantastic sales, certainly on these top premier streets over the last, well, even the last month, post-COVID, as we're probably going to call it, or intermittent of COVID-19. There have been sales on Marine Drive at 2120, no water access there. 88 Marine Drive at 2310. And Jack Huggett, Oatley's #1 agent, sold 6 Dingera just at the beginning of March for 1.75, and that simply was a 2-bedroom shack with waterfront access. So I would suggest that 15 Raymond Street, Oatley is a wonderful proposition. 4-bed, 3 baths, just shy of 600 squares, tennis court, boat shed, waterfront access. Buyers, that's enough for me. We're all online. Who wants to set the pace? Call out an opening bid or offer. I'm in your hands. Excuse me while I look down. I've got this console in front of me that does display all of the bids that are coming through. And so that is why I'm just looking down towards that console. I was hoping for a start, certainly in those 1.7s, maybe 1.75. Certainly, I think if we use number 6 Dingera as a starting point, you'd expect a bid around that to start the bidding. Bearing in mind, this is a brick home, 4-bed, 3-bathroom, and that wonderful opportunity to maximize that 3/4 size tennis court. Maybe you want to deck it. Maybe you want to put some AstroTurf down there for the future generations of Australian footballers to enjoy. Whatever you want to do, someone needs to set the pace. certainly somewhere around that 1.75, I think, is a fair place to commence the bidding. I know I've got Jack in my ear on my right. You'll see he's just having a conversation with both of our registered parties. Of course, this is a new system for a lot of our buyers, so we're just allowing that time to get their head around a very straightforward, simple app. Just type in the numbers. If you want to start with 2 million, just type in 2 and the extra noughts, and we'll see if I'm happy to take that. But if you don't feel comfortable at that price point, just type in those numbers. The bid will simply come through in front of me here, and I will choose whether to accept that or not. Now is your chance, buyers. Call out a bid, and just type that into that system. Now is your chance. Just gonna let Dean, who's also on the phone to one of our interested parties, that they need to have that telephone bid if they wish to do that. I'm not sure why, but we can just quite simply place that bid via any medium. We've got video on my right hand side, we've got video right up in front, we've got technology down here. This is the new world for us, but we had a huge result earlier in the day. It sold over 200,000 above the reserve. The competition is there for good real estate, and 15 Raymond Street represents that, absolutely no doubt about it. But someone call out or type in that bid. Certainly, maybe, look, if we're struggling to get a start here, I wasn't hoping to use my vendor bid to kick things off, but if you make me, I certainly will. I would have thought you should all feel comfortable in and around that 175 figure, which is, based on those recent sales that I've already run through with you, I think looks like a wonderful place to commence the bidding. We are selling under an unconditional contract, so this is your chance, buyers, but simply put your best foot forward, or certainly take your first stride towards ownership. Do bear with us a moment. Just going to let those buyers sitting there. We're not sure what we're waiting for, buyers. Happy to take an opening bid somewhere around that 175. If you don't, I'm happy to place that bid on our owner's behalf. As a 175, I think, is a fair place to commence the bidding. Oh, excuse me, just kicking the camera there, just making sure you're all awake at home. Hoping to see an opening bid or offer here today. Again, 15 Raymond Street, 4 bed, 3 bath, Premier Street. I need a bid. Now I'll call it away then. If you're not bidding, first chance. Second. Third. Well, I'm going to place the vendor bid at 1 3/4. At 1,750, the offer at 750, the bid. Quite simply, we've given you a roadmap to success. Happy to take 20,000 rises from here and call it back at 770. But at 750, I'm bid. 7.5, the offer. At 1,750,000, the bid away now at 1 3/4. Welcome you in competition north of there. Multiple registered parties back at home. Can't make it any easier for you. At 1,750 is the offer. Is there any bidding north of this figure? At 3/4 once. At 1,750,000 twice. At 750,000. Third. At 175. 750,000 is the bid competition. You need to be north of that figure, and I welcome you in. Call it back at 770 is my suggestion, but at 750 I'm bid at 1,750. Well, is there any better bid north of this figure? Quite simply, we go back to the market. Look at those recent sales. My goodness, Jack secured 50 Algernon Street for 238 yesterday, sold prior to today's auction, and simply no waterfront access there. So this, for me, at 175 is a fair place to commence the bidding for number 15 Raymond Street in Oatley. At 750 I'm bid, buyers. My goodness, we go back to the market. Should there be no better bids above 1,750,000? It's very clear. I'll reiterate, 4 sales at the PRD Oatley office have secured in the last week, have taken place post-auction, and they've been above the figures the owners would have accepted on auction day. So if you're in a position to bid with an unconditional contract, I suggest you put your best bid forward. You never know. You might purchase this home for a price you'd be surprised by. At 750 is the bid. At 1,750,000, buyers, I'm simply going to call it away. That is your chance. But at 750 for 590 squares, tennis court, boat access on the Premier Peninsula pocket here, down there, Marine Drive, Lansdowne Parade, all just around your corner. This is a cul-de-sac, quiet as a mouse position, enjoying beautiful views down the bay, A great opportunity, but buyers, you're going to miss out, and it frustrates me. You're going to come back post-auction, and I know we've got people at home waiting for this to happen. Your competition is online, but you need to be north of 750 to give our owners something to consider. I'm getting no indication at this price point. At 750 then, once, bear with me, just getting, do bear with us one moment. I'm just going to simply pause the auction there and just have a quick conversation with our agent. So do hold there. Bear with me one moment. Thank you for that moment. We were just having another registered party come through, so we welcome you, bidder number 4, into proceedings. The bid sits at 1750. You need to be north of that if you wish to compete today. So at 750 I'm bid. Let's go back to all of our online systems. My goodness, we are working hard here today, but at 750 I'm bid. New bidder into the fray. So welcome you in, our new entry. Simply, if you want to buy this, I'd suggest that 1/8's the next bid, but call out a number wherever you feel comfortable. It needs to be north of $1,750,000. And our owner is here and keen to sell, but it needs to be north of this. At 750 I'm bid. Is there any new bidding or bidding above this figure at 750? Giving you plenty of time. I welcome that new bidder in, but at 750, quite simply, need some instructions from all of our registered parties. They are on the phone with our agents. You need to give us a definite in, definite out. Otherwise, we go back to market and you will have missed your opportunity to secure this with less competition on auction day. So the bid is at $1,750,000 at 750. The bid, I'm going to call it then, simply getting no indication from our online bidders. Happily take, look, if it helps you involve you in proceedings, if $10,000 gets you in, we'd put you in as the highest bidder, and then you get the first refusal at our reserve price. At 750 I'm bid. If you want to go 10 on the rise just to get involved, I'm happy to take it. Otherwise, I'm going to call it away. You've got 3 chances to change your mind and miss out on an opportunity to secure this home under auction conditions that favour you, no doubt about it. So at 1,750 is the bid for the first time in calling. At $1,750,000 for the second time. Is there any bid north of $1,750,000 for the third and final time? Well, simply, I'm going to set the property aside back in our owner's favour. I really strongly encourage any of our online bidders to consider their position. My goodness, this is a quality home, quality position, and a really competitive price. My owner's expectations are simply in line with the feedback, and this is relating to the current situation. We know what is going on. Our owners understand that. Buyers, you are missing out on opportunities We've given you a very clear roadmap to success here. The bid was at 175. You need to be north of there in order to purchase this home. But that does conclude proceedings. Best of luck with your negotiations, and thank you, Jack and Daisy, for another opportunity. Enjoy the rest of your day.